China has replaced its foreign minister. Top diplomat Wang Yi has retaken the helm, replacing his successor Chen Gang, who was just 7 months into the job. Mr. Wang's American counterpart, Antony Blinken, said he expects to, quote, work well with him, having known each other for more than a decade. While a U.S. State Department spokesperson said it was up to China to choose its foreign minister.
We will continue to engage with Foreign Minister Wang Yi and other Chinese officials, and we continue to believe that keeping lines of communication are incredibly important, and it's an important avenue to manage this relationship responsibly, which is something that the international community expects of us.
Mr. Qin has not been seen in public since the 25th of June, when he met senior diplomats from Russia, Vietnam, and Sri Lanka. Chinese authorities have yet to disclose the reason for his month-long absence. Mr. Qin missed a diplomatic gathering with EU Foreign Policy Chief Josep Borrell on the 4th of July, and on the 11th, the ministry briefly cited health reasons when he did not attend the ASEAN meeting in Indonesia. Mr. Qin's name remains on the list of state councillors on the English language website of China's State Council, while searches for Chen Gang on China's Foreign Ministry website yields no results. And for more on China's foreign policy leadership shakeup, we're joined by Dr. Chen Gang, Assistant Director and Senior Research Fellow at the National University of Singapore. Dr. Chen, thank you very much for joining me. So, Mr. Chen Gang's disappearance is quite significant, but at the same time, very little information about the reasons for Wang Yi replacing him as foreign minister. How are you reading this situation?
I think, first of all, this kind of abrupt personnel change at the top level, especially for the very high-profile position of foreign minister, is unprecedented. It's very rare in China's reform era, and it indicates that, and the disappearance of Qin Gang for about a month indicates the sensitivity of the issue, and I think the top leadership is still thinking about how to handle the whole incident and how to make the announcement to the public, not only to the domestic audience, but also to the world as well. So I do think that this is a very sudden change for China's foreign policy making circle. And also it can have very long-term impact upon China's foreign policy as well as the mentality of diplomats.
Right. Speaking of that, so what does it say about Mr. Xi's handpicking of Qin Gang as foreign minister and now replacing with Wang Yi? What does it mean for Beijing?
Yeah, I think Qin's promotion to the foreign minister position indicates the urgency of the Chinese government to improve the relationship with Western countries, especially with the United States. So we can see from Qin Gang's backgrounds very clearly that actually he is very familiar with Western countries. He has worked in those regions for a very long time. And his last stint before his foreign minister position was the ambassador to the United States. And it seemed that he did quite a good job when he was in the United States. And we do see some kind of significant improvement between the two superpowers in recent months. So I think his promotion indicates the determination of Beijing to improve relations with Western countries.
Mr. Wang Yi, he now straddles two portfolios. What will his first priority be, as a foreign minister right now then?
As compared to Qin Gang, Wang Yi actually is more familiar with Asian affairs, and he has very good connections with Asian leaders, top diplomats in those countries, especially in Southeast Asia and in East Asia. So I do think that Wang taking charge of Qin Gang's work may indicate a future shift of China's foreign policy from Western countries to Asian countries and to neighboring regions. And that also accords with China's long-term strategy of focusing on developing world, focusing on neighboring regions. And also this happens in the context of increasing tensions between China and the United States. So I do think that actually this kind of Qin's demotion may indicate some kind of policy change as well.
Well, speaking of the policy change, do you see this as a temporary position for Mr. Wang Yi? And in fact, tell us what's happening behind the scenes now in trying to find the next foreign minister.
I do not think that actually Wang's appointment is that kind of temporary, because the reappointment of the foreign minister needs the approval from China's National People's Congress. And usually this kind of position will not just last for a few months. And also now we all know that China's foreign policy is facing a lot of challenges. The job is not an easy job. So I do think that Wang Yi probably, if he can do the job quite well, he can stay on that position for quite some time. And also we know that Wang Yi has another identity, which is the chief of the office of the party's Central Foreign Affairs leading group, which means that he also represents the party, the Communist Party. That also accords with Xi Jinping's thinking that the party should control everything, including foreign affairs, including economy, including finance. So I do think that this also represents Xi's thinking on this.
All right, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. I've been speaking with Dr. Chen Gang, Assistant Director and Senior Research Fellow at the National University of Singapore.